Imagine this. A player is right there on the absolute brink of a massive career moment, totally dominating the match. The crowd is just roaring, pushing them towards victory. And then somehow it all gets snatched away, just like that. Agonizingly. We're not just talking scores here. This is about, human resilience, pure grit, and yeah, sometimes that kind of heartbreak that just shows how fragile winning can be.
Absolutely. It's those moments, those razor-thin margins where everything pivots,
Yeah.
from feeling certain to just complete uncertainty. That's really the core of elite sport, isn't it? When the emotions run that high, it stops being just a game. It becomes this lasting story that people remember long after the last ball's hit.
Couldn't agree more. And that's exactly the kind of story we're diving into today. One of the truly unforgettable matches from the 2025 U.S. Open. We're going deep on that absolutely electrifying fourth-round clash. American phenom Taylor Townsend versus the Czech champion Barbora Krejcikova. And like you said, our mission isn't just about the 6-1, 6-7, 6-3 scoreline. We really want to get into the sheer emotion, the key turning points, and that incredible fight from both players that just instantly made this a classic. By the end of this, you'll get why everyone was talking about this match at Louis Armstrong Stadium, and maybe what it really tells us about the spirit and sometimes the brutal psychology of competing at the very top.
Yeah, and the setting itself just amplified everything. It was a balmy Sunday evening, August 31st, 2025, right there in New York. The air in Louis Armstrong, it wasn't just warm, it felt electric. You could almost taste the hope coming off the thousands of fans. Those chants, "Let's go Taylor," just echoing,
Yeah.
pushing their homegrown player on. That kind of energy, that, collective expectation, it almost becomes another player on the court.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with the American, Taylor Townsend. 29 years old, her singles ranking coming in was number 139. Now, on paper, you might think, okay, maybe not a talk there, but hold on. She's world number 1 in doubles, known for this really powerful flat serve, amazing hands at the net, and just this incredible energy. A real all-court game, great defense, too. Now, how much does that double skill really translate in singles on a huge stage like this? Is it her biggest weapon, or does it create challenges, too?
Well, that's a great question. Her doubles game is absolutely her superpower, no doubt. It gives her this comfort level up at the net that, frankly, a lot of singles specialists just don't have. She's fearless closing points. Devastating sometimes. But the challenge can be, the baseline grind in singles, doubles points, often shorter, more about quick bursts. In singles, you need that consistency from the back, rally after rally. So yeah, her biggest strength also means she has to really work to blend that net aggression with patient baseline play. And think about this, her 31st Grand Slam appearance. She'd never been this close to a singles quarterfinal. So for Townsend, this wasn't just another match. It felt like the chance. Finally breaking into that Elite Eight, that personal drive adds so much weight.
And her route to this round, it was genuinely inspiring, really built that connection with the New York crowd. Second round, she played Jelena Ostapenko. Remember that fiery match? And the headlines afterwards, that really heated exchange at the net. Ostapenko reportedly telling Townsend she had no class, no education. Oof. Psychologically, what does something like that do? Does it throw you off, or can it actually, ignite something even deeper? It seemed to fire Townsend up.
Right. It's fascinating because it really can cut both ways. For some players, total distraction derails them. For Townsend, clearly it was fuel. It almost created this us against the world vibe, solidified her as the underdog the New York crowd loves to get behind. She took that negative energy and just channeled it, laser focus. And then in the third round, she pulls off this stunning upset against the number 5 seed, Mirna Andreeva. That win really showed her mental toughness, performing under that kind of pressure. So by the time she walked out against Krejcikova, she wasn't just another player. She was a crowd favorite. Plus, her 4-year-old son, AJ, was right there in the stands cheering. That personal touch, it just makes the crowd invest even more, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Now, across the net, Barbora Krejcikova, ranked number 62. But just looking at that number, big mistake. This is a 2-time Grand Slam champion we're talking about. Won the French Open in 2021, Wimbledon in 2024, a proven champion.
And her story coming into this match was just as compelling, but totally different reasons. She was fighting her way back from a really serious back injury. Sidelined her for almost 5 months earlier in 2025. So just being back at this level, competing like this, it's a huge testament to her resilience, defying expectations. And she wasn't just showing up. She'd just beaten the 10th seed, Emma Navarro, in the round before. So she was playing well despite the layoff. Coming back from a major injury like that, what's the biggest mental hurdle? Is it trusting your body again, or just regaining that competitive fire?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I imagine it's a bit of both, constantly battling those doubts. Okay, so the stage is set. 2 incredible athletes, compelling backstories. Let's get into the match itself. Because, wow, what a roller coaster. Right from the first point, Townsend came out absolutely on fire. She just dominated that first set, ran away with it, 6-1 in only 28 minutes. Her aggressive game, those powerful ground strokes mixed with those deft volleys, has just completely overwhelmed Krejcikova. She looked a bit stunned. What was Townsend doing so well in that set to just dismantle Krejcikova's game like that?
Well, her serve was definitely clicking, but I think more than that, it was her court positioning. Just impeccable. She was stepping in, taking the ball so early, giving Krejcikova absolutely no time to settle, and then finishing points decisively at the net. Krejcikova loves rhythm, right? So disrupting that immediately with that relentless all-court pressure, masterstroke. The crowd naturally was on its feet. You could feel people thinking, wow, something special is happening here.
Yeah.
A number 139 playing like a top tenor. It's exactly that kind of potential breakout story fans hope to see at the Open.
And this is where the whole narrative just flips on its head, doesn't it? Townsend kept that momentum going into the second set, earns a break point on Krejcikova's serve at 5-4. Just think about that. One game away from the quarterfinals. The match felt like it was right there for her. What's going through a player's head at that exact moment? Is it pure excitement? Or does the pressure suddenly become like almost paralyzing when it's that close?
Yeah, it's such a tricky psychological tightrope, isn't it? On one hand, you feel that surge, you're so close. On the other, the weight of actually closing it out can be enormous. For Townsend, maybe, just maybe, there was a subconscious tightening, wanting not to miss instead of playing to win like she had been. But this is where you see the difference, the champion's mindset. Krejcikova, with all that Grand Slam experience, she just dug in incredibly deep, saved that first match point, and from that moment, the whole set just spiraled into this epic tiebreaker.
Yeah.
One of the longest, most dramatic tiebreaks in U.S. Open history, people are saying. That second set alone ended up lasting an unbelievable 98 minutes, and the tiebreak itself, 25 brutal minutes.
25 minutes? Just for the tiebreaker. I mean, that's longer than some entire sets of tennis.
Mm-hmm.
For both players, what kind of toll does that take? Physically, obviously, but psychologically, too. It can't just be about tired legs.
Right, far from it. That kind of sustained pressure cooker atmosphere, it drains you mentally just as much, if not more, than physically. Every single point feels like a mini-match for survival. You've got the physical exertion, sure, the lactate buildup, but also the constant decision-making under intense stress, the emotional highs and lows, point after point. It's like, I don't know, running a marathon while playing high-stakes chess. Yeah. And Townsend surged again in that breaker, got up 6-3, holding 3 match points. The crowd was just erupting. You could feel everyone thinking, okay, this is it. Believing Taylor was about to seal it.
But Krejcikova just refused to lose, saved match point after match point. I remember one critical backhand just painting the line, erased one chance. Then at 8-8, this long, grueling rally ends with her backhand just clipping the net cord and dribbling over for a winner. She gave that little apology hand raise, you know. But zero doubt in her eyes. Still fighting, a polite assassin. That's quite the combination. Sportsmanship and pure steel.
Exactly. It really speaks to that champion's instinct. In total, Krejcikova saved an incredible 7 match points just in that tiebreaker, 8 overall in the set, before finally clinching at 15-13, our own 4th set point. You know, when we talk about this champion's mentality, what does that actually look like in those crisis moments? Is it like flipping a switch? Or is this conscious point-by-point fight against panic and doubt? And how do you even train for that?
That's such a key question, because the impact of surviving something like that, it's hard to overstate, isn't it?
It's rarely just a switch. It's more like a deeply ingrained belief system built over years, often built on past failures, actually. It's believing you can solve the problem on court, whatever it is. Plus, this almost detached focus on just the next point. Forget the score. Just execute this one point. You have to block out all the what-ifs. Training involves simulating pressure, yeah, but it's mostly about building that mental toolkit over time. Krejcikova finding those extra shots, those line-clipping winners when everything was on the line, that's ingrained mental toughness right there.
Yeah.
And then, after that absolute marathon set, Krejcikova takes an off-court puck. Smart move. Lets her regroup. Meanwhile, Townsend is left sitting there in her chair, just having to process what on earth just happened. Agonizing.
And that momentum shift we talked about, it felt almost immediate, didn't it? Irreversible. Townsend came back out for the third, visibly shaken, struggling to recapture that earlier magic. That off-court break Krejcikova took was that pure tactics. And could you see signs in Townsend's body language, even before the third started, that the blow had landed?
Oh, absolutely tactical. And brilliant. Broke the rhythm, gave Krejcikova time to reset physically and mentally, and left Townsend stewing, replaying those missed chances in her head. You could see it. The tells for Townsend were maybe subtle, but there. First serve percentage dipped slightly, maybe reaching a little on shots she was making earlier. A few more unforced errors started creeping in. That confidence that was just radiating off her in the first set, it had eroded, replaced by this visible effort, this struggle. And Krejcikova, she pounced, broke Townsend's serve twice, capitalized on every slight opening.
Yeah, it was tough to watch after how well she started. Krejcikova closes out the match 6-3 in the third, just pure championship resilience, really, proving that even staring down multiple match points, great players find a way. And she moves on, sets up a quarterfinal against the number 4 seed, Jessica Pegula.
That ability to compartmentalize, you know, to reset after surviving a set like that, that's the mark of a champion. She knew she'd escaped, and that mental edge carried her right through the decider.
When the final point landed, Townsend's emotions just poured out. She was incredibly gracious at the net, hugged Krejcikova, true sportsmanship. But then she got back to her chair, and the weight of it all just hit her. Tears streaming down her face. Just a raw, real moment. Captured the agony of being that close.
And the crowd responded, didn't they?
Yeah.
They recognized the effort, gave her this long, really heartfelt standing ovation as she walked off, a powerful moment. Showed that connection she'd built. She said later, "It just stings because I literally gave everything," and acknowledged Krejcikova's clutch play. But she also said, "I'm glad that I was able to win the fans over." That's important too. Finding pride even in a painful loss. That's character.
And Krejcikova, very classy in victory too. Acknowledged the amazing atmosphere, said something like, "To be honest, I'm totally enjoying this crowd. Even though it's not for me, it's for the Americans, it's fine." Nice touch.
So looking ahead, what does this match mean? For Townsend, yeah, brutal loss. But wow, what a statement of potential. At 29, she proved she belongs, competing with the very best. Took out Ostapenko, upset Andreeva. This run has to boost her confidence, her ranking, sets her up for a much stronger 2026 in singles, you'd think.
Sometimes, it's a near miss like this that actually becomes the real breakthrough moment in disguise. And hey, let's not forget, she's still in the doubles. Top seed with Siniakova, another shot at a U.S. Open title right there.
Good point. And for Krejcikova, saving 8 match points, that's just massive confirmation of her champion's mentality, especially after that bad back injury, shows she's truly back and can handle insane pressure. But after a match like that, emotionally, physically, what are the challenges now? Recovering for the next round. What does this win signal about her chances going forward, considering that injury comeback?
Yeah, that recovery is huge. Physically, sure, ice bath, physio, sleep, all that. But the mental recovery is just as vital. She just survived a war. The trick is bottling that belief, that feeling of invincibility, but releasing the tension. Avoiding that emotional letdown in the next match, that's tough. This win, though, it totally validates her comeback. Shows she's not just back. Maybe she's mentally even tougher now, having stared down that kind of adversity. But now she faces Pegula. JPEG reached the final here last year, hasn't dropped a set yet this tournament. Play lights out. So the big question is, can Krejcikova replicate that pressure performance? Maintain that physical level against another top player who's fresh and confident. Her ability to reset is key.
Definitely. And this incredible Townsend-Krejcikova battle, it was just one storyline in what's been a really thrilling 2025 U.S. Open overall, August 26th to September 8th. You've got Alcaraz, Djokovic playing through a neck issue, Sabalenka, Rybakina, all making waves. But I think it's fair to say Townsend's run, her fight, nearly pulling off that huge win against Krejcikova, that really resonated, captured the New York crowd, defined a big part of the tournament's drama.
It absolutely did. It's exactly the kind of match that reminds you why tennis is so compelling. A sport where literally 1 point can change everything, where heart meets skill under immense pressure, and where even when you lose, you can leave this lasting impression.
Taylor Townsend might have left the court heartbroken, but she definitely left with the respect of the tennis world, and I think the feeling that we'll see more big moments from her. So thinking about a match like this, what stands out most to you? Is it the agony of the loss, the sheer will needed to win like Krejcikova did, or is it the impact a player can make, win or lose? It's definitely something that makes you appreciate the beauty and sometimes the sheer brutality of sport.